The Subcommittee on Government Operations and the Federal Workforce will come to order. And I'd like to welcome each of you who are here and have taken time out of your important day to not only join us, but to hear what I believe will be information that will be shared with the confidence that this federal government, this Republican majority, and local people need to work together on answers and the things that we are doing here today. Without objection, I may declare a recess at any time. Before commencing the hearing, I'd like to recognize the members of the subcommittee who are joining us here today, and I want to thank them. The gentleman from Arizona, Mr. Biggs. Andy Biggs is an important member of not only government reform and oversight, but leads much of our effort as it relates to the border. He represents Arizona. And Andy, I want to thank you for taking time coming from a hearing yesterday across to here. Also the gentleman, Congressman Chuck Edwards, who is from North Carolina, who was with Chairman Biggs yesterday and maybe the day before in Arizona. And I want to thank both of them for coming to this rain-drenched area of Florida as we do this hearing. We also, of course, have a local congressman, a very diligent and important member of not just our subcommittee, but also our committee, and as a colleague also that serves with me on the Financial Services Committee, Byron Donalds. Mr. Donalds told me last night that he would be a bit late, and I will tell you, I understand that, because if I were in my district, I would be way late. But we will expect to have Congressman Byron Donalds here in just a few minutes. And as I was just told, he's getting ready to walk in. But thank you to each of you for joining us today. Today's hearing, I hope, will be productive and a benefit to each of us who are participants. And I now recognize myself for making an opening statement. And I want to welcome everybody. Today is official business of the United States House of Representatives, the House of Oversight and Accountability Subcommittee on Government Operations and the Federal Workforce. The great people of Florida have shown a remarkable strength and determination as they continue to rebuild what was a devastating effort that came against them with the wake of Hurricane Ian. And I would like to thank my colleague who is getting ready to walk in, Congressman Byron Donalds, for raising really the spectrum of taking a look at not just what happened here, but what has happened since. He has constituents and also elected officials that represent people, and they know that we need to be better prepared for future disasters, but also to end the things which we are doing now. Congressman Byron Donalds is a dedicated young servant, and I have great confidence in him, and it was a request that he made of us, and so we're here. I also want to thank the men and women of agencies who have come to town, their people, hours of devotion and dedication to try and make sure that the people of this area of Florida were well taken care of. We thank the men and women of the government, the United States government, state government, local government, and cities. We gather together after 1 year for an after-action report on behalf of the federal government's work to support local governments, businesses, families, and individual citizens. And I want to say that we have two panels that will take place today. First, with federal witnesses who will testify, and then secondly, with local witnesses who will provide their feedback that helps us. This will be a discussion of the actions that have already been taken and also that need to continue. From our local witnesses, we appreciate the chance to hear from you and believe that your story that will be told will help the federal government and certainly the United States Congress to be better prepared if and when it does happen again. I've had the opportunity to speak to each of our witnesses prior to the hearing, and I told them that I want them to know that their testimony is appreciated, and I want them to be a part of a productive conversation, a conversation that will take place whereby we can work with it and make things better. While we're currently focused on this effort, we all know that it won't be the last time that federal, state, and local governments must come together to help rebuild communities. And this morning as we woke up, we saw how Hawaii, the state of Hawaii, is going through something that's similar, but that is total destruction of many cities. Our prayers go out to them. The people who are involved are Americans, and our federal government and the United States Congress need to play a key role in what they're doing. Natural disasters are not rare, but we know that the financial loss and the size and scope of this last hurricane was huge. So I want you to know that we are committed to thanking FEMA, SBA, and HUD, and other agencies, but we should not forget also our first responders, the men and women of law enforcement, the men and women of fire units and EMS. They were on the front line. They felt the brunt of this also. And part of the discussion that I heard last night from our witnesses was their need to keep those, have those people stay in affordable housing where they had been. And that's part of the discussion that will take place today. So we're delighted to be here. I want you to know that I think us being here can make a difference, but the difference that we need to make is supporting our colleague and the people of this area